Holy shit, Hogwarts Legacy. If ever there was a game so universally praised solely because of the IP it's based on, it's this one right here. People are loving this game, and you know what? Good for them. I, on the other hand, think it's average at best. Yes, there are parts to it that are very good, but there's a lot of trash, and it feels like people are blinded to the glaring issues that are here, instead being swallowed up by the magic and mystery of a game set in the wizarding world. Now, I've played enough of Hogwarts Legacy to get a good idea of everything it has to offer, and the game just hasn't hooked me. I'm playing it because I don't have much else to play right now. I believe the reason it hasn't hooked me is because there are glaring issues with the game, some minor, some major, that instantly take me out of the immersion of being in the wizarding world. It's important to add that I'm playing on PS5. Apologies, I don't have a decent PS5 recording setup, hence why there isn't any of my gameplay in this video. Now, highly detailed locations and lots of things to see and do are only enjoyable if it's fun to be in these places and fun to do these things. Once you have a nice detailed location like Hogwarts, you're then reliant on two other core features to maintain the entertainment. If it's a combat game, that's going to be how does the combat work, and also storytelling. Well, the storytelling here it's alright. The combat is really average. In fact, it sucks. While I've been playing Hogwarts Legacy, I've often wondered, did the developers actually play the game? You see, a game is only as immersive as the features that work. If you keep noticing issues and come across non-gameplay frustrations, you instantly get taken out of the illusion, which isn't ideal for a game like this. There's also a number of quality of life features that are poorly executed here as well, and for me, these are inexcusable, and I'll start with them first. So, the first thing wrong with Hogwarts Legacy is no field of view slider on PS5. Why? It's available on PC, why not on consoles? Perhaps it's a performance thing, maybe the PS5 can't keep up with that many objects and details in view all at the same time. I find that hard to believe after playing God of War Ragnarok. I'm not sure. For me, the camera feels way too close to the character, and I feel like I'm missing out on seeing intricate details in the environments because my character takes up half the fucking screen. At least include an FOV slider so people can customize the view to suit their personal tastes. This also leads into my second gripe, stairs. Holy shit, going up and down stairs in this game is horrible, especially spiral staircases. The camera zooms right into the character, it feels janky and clunky. Now, this may seem like a pathetic issue, but Hogwarts is full of fucking stairs. In fact, most of the time, if you choose to navigate the world instead of fast traveling, you'll be on staircases, and it sucks. Having a cursor on console versions of games is always shit. I've never played a game that has done it well. Having to slowly move the cursor to whatever menu I want is so tedious. Yes, you can speed it up, but fuck me does it become inaccurate. Leave the cursors to the mouse and keyboard players. It's literally what the mouse is best at. The map is bad, really bad. You can't accurately figure out where you are because there's a giant fucking Hogwarts castle impeding your view, if you're in the castle, obviously. To fast travel, you have to rest the cursor on a point of interest. It might be a quest. You then figure out which area that's in, slowly move the cursor to the name of that location on the left, then find the fast travel point you want to go to. It's way more tedious than it needs to be. Yes, there are shortcuts where you can go straight to the location via the quest menu, but if you don't want to fast travel and instead want to explore the halls of Hogwarts, which I reckon is where this game is at its best, figuring out which direction you need to go is not easy, and bad navigation tools are an instant immersion breaker. While I'm speaking of the menus, good God, do they load slow. Now, it may be different on Xbox, it may be different on PC, I haven't played the game on those, but every time I want to go into a separate menu, whether it be inventory, gear, map, challenges, there's at least a couple of seconds of wait time. On the surface that sounds rather petty, I know, but when you're doing it all the time, it soon adds up. From the very beginning of the game, I was already trying to avoid opening the map, quest, or inventory screens because it gets tedious so freaking quickly. Now, this being a Harry Potter game, I know it's probably trying to appeal to the kids, but It has a feature in it that I absolutely despise, and it's what I call quests for dummies. Nakey Jakey on YouTube does a good video explaining this in Red Dead Redemption 2. It's here as well. I was doing a treasure map quest which has 3 or 4 steps on it. I actually found where the treasure was without going through all the steps, and lo and behold, I couldn't finish the quest. I had to go all the way back to the very first step to activate the next step. 5 minutes later, I was back where I was fucking before, and now I could finish the quest. Again, immersion breaking. Here's a big one, and it might be controversial. I think the voice acting is really bad. There are better characters than others for sure, but within the first 5 minutes of the game, my immersion was broken. It's just not good acting. Emotional beats are often missed with dialogue that either doesn't fit what's happening around you, or dialogue that's delivered without the same intensity as the situation. Also, when you talk to an NPC, conversations don't flow. Usually you have between 1 and 5 dialogue options. Some progress the main quest, some just give you background information. If you choose to ask about background information and then listen to what they have to say, then go back to the main progression dialogue option, it sounds like you haven't just had a 3-minute conversation with the person. It's kind of hard to explain, but it's jarring. I know it's a hard ask in a game as big as this, but even conversations with main characters feel poorly structured. Also, I'm playing as the male character, I don't know about the female character, and the voice actor is poor. He actually reminds me of Daniel Radcliffe in the first Harry Potter film. And if you didn't know, that's not a good thing. His acting was fucking awful in that film. The last point I want to make, and this is the big one, is combat. The concept is decent. Matching certain spells to certain enemies is a nice challenge. You have to think and adjust as you go. But crucially, it's let down by the mechanics. The targeting system is woeful. If you're fighting more than 3 enemies, prepare to get pissed off. Your spells will fire at the wrong person. If they flank you, you're as good as dead. It's hard to target the person you actually want to target. It just doesn't work well, especially in smaller environments. You also can't rebind the controls on PlayStation, and the default settings are baffling, to say the least. R2 is fire a basic spell, and to fire specialized spells, you have to hold R2. The number of times I want to lay into an enemy with some quick fire R2 presses, only for it to inadvertently cast a fucking Lumos spell to brighten the area where it's thought I was holding down R2. Fuck's sake, it's just terrible. Also, some spells initiate a little cool, funky animation, and while that's happening, you can't really do anything. You just get smoked by enemy attacks and die. It's hard to tell when you've been hit if you're in a group fight. Block blocks one spell, but if they follow up with 1 or 2 more, you can't block those, you just take the hits. Now, I'm glad it's challenging, but I'm not here to play Hogwarts Legacy because I want a fucking Souls-like experience. And even then, the game isn't hard because the enemies are powerful, it's hard because the combat is shit, which is never good. Anyway, that's pretty much all I've got. I know a lot of people are loving the game, and I think that's great. However, for me, I like to be immersed in a game, especially an RPG like Hogwarts. I mean, is it even an RPG? Like, what the heck? It seems to be just pushing me down a linear path. Anyway, these sorts of problems instantly take me out of the immersion. I don't want to have to think about what the hell the developers were thinking when they implemented such and such feature. I want to lose myself in the wizarding world. Bad combat, pretty bad voice acting, and a general lack of polish doesn't help me to do that. In fact, it does the opposite. It pushes me away. I've been Ugly Jack. Thanks for having me.